the previous video, I shared a little backstory about how I received a pair of wonderful vintage dresses from Deborah. In that video, you watched me make some anti-rust potions at midnight of dubious effectiveness, to be honest, and had a special chance of watching Winnie's nighttime routine. So if you missed that video, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. Today, let me show you how I tackled sizing and restoring the dresses to give them a second and hopefully equally long life. It's the next day. The rust stains haven't gone anywhere, so I'm going to rinse it out and try them with a vinegar solution and let them sit in vinegar for a little bit. So yesterday I was spicing up and salting my skirt. Today I'm going to straight up pickle it. While the skirt is happily getting pickled on the kitchen sink, it's time for the fun part, which is sewing. And I think I'm going to start with the white dress. I'm going to try it on the left side. It doesn't have a zipper, so it might be a bit tricky, but I'll do my best to pin it on the body and see where to take it in, see what shape I want to give it. I want to do as minimal alterations to the dress as possible. I want to preserve as much of the original character of the dress as possible. But let me put the dress on the left side, try it on, and see where we need to go from here. I had a little look at the dress and I decided that it is indeed a drop waist dress because the bust darts are gathering in just the right places. So I took in the darts here a little bit on the back, and I will see where it takes me. Before I put in the zipper, I have to repair some of the fabric here. I will take it in a little bit, repair the fabric, put in the zipper, and then I will have a final try on. While I was still editing this video, I received a beautiful wedding portrait of Deborah's parents in one of her emails, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. Here is a picture of her mom and dad, and I'll tell you a few more details about her parents a little bit later in the video, so stay tuned for that. I was really lucky with the white dress. It turned out that I didn't have to do that many adjustments to make the dress fit me very nicely. I started with adjusting the darts, deepening them a little bit, and that was really the majority of the adjustments I had to do. The bulk of the work that I had to do on the dress was the zipper area, and you will see in a moment why. think I'm going to put some interfacing on the weak spots around the zipper before I proceed with anything else. I still cannot quite get over the difference of thickness between the vintage thread and the modern thread. It's so obvious once you have two stitches side by side. Here is the vintage thread, Here is the modern thread. It's shocking. No wonder that clothes used to last so much longer than they do now. The little interfacing that I put in to the zipper area is now cooled down, so I can proceed to working on it. It's time to put in a zipper. I will try to make a covered zipper installation, and once that's done, I can try on the dress again and see how does it look like. If it looks okay, I will try to figure out what to do with the sleeves. I'm a little bit unsure of the sleeves because they seemed really large here. Maybe I just add a little elastic to the sleeve. That would fix the issue, but we shall see. I have just put on the dress and immediately ripped the zipper head off of the zipper. But the dress looks really nice though. Let me show you, if I can. I love it, so cute. I will maybe adjust the fit a little bit more once I have the sleeves on and everything else, but first I have to figure out how to put a zipper back on the zipper to unzip myself, to zip myself free.
One hour later.
I have just managed to unzip myself from the dress. I had to unpick the bottom end of the stitch that I did to put in the zipper, completely open the zipper and cut the bottom of the zipper off and put the zipper head through here. So I managed to put the zipper head back on and I closed off the upper edge of the zipper so I don't do that again because that took me way too much time. While my camera was charging, I unpicked the sleeve from the First Kiss dress. There was an elastic here actually. Once I unpick both sleeves, you can actually see a little bit of it right here. Here is the elastic that runs on the side here. So once I disassemble the bodice, try it on, assess it again. I don't know if I'll put the elastic back in or not yet. Also the front of the bodice, it's right at the middle, you know, where the sweetheart neckline makes that little dip. It's slightly torn, so I think I will flip the lining open and I'll just sew the neckline slightly lower, just like 0.5 centimeter lower, to put this little tear back on the inside of the bodice. I do have quite a bit, you know, of extra material to work with, so it shouldn't present a problem. But back to the proposal dress, I had a look at the sleeves while the camera was charging, and guess what? There indeed has been an elastic in the sleeves. I don't know if you can see, but here, this is an elastic channel. I thought that it was just a normal seam, and I didn't understand why there was so much, you know, sleeve to be had. But that's because there is an elastic that, as elastics do, got old and it no longer does its job. So I have to reinstall a new elastic to take the sleeve in, and I'll have a bit of a puff sleeve, which I am not against the idea. I love puff sleeves. What I'm going to do is open the channels in just enough to get the elastic out, get new elastic in, put the sleeves back on the dress and try the dress on and see how it looks. I am really excited. Let's have a look at the 75-year-old elastic. Look at how nicely it was attached, just a little Z. Turns out I've lost the only safety pin that I've had in my possession that I could use to put this into the channel, the elastic channel. So I have to figure out a way to put the elastic into the sleeves, and I don't understand what is this day. First, I spent half an hour trying to unzip myself from a dress, and now I have to figure out a replacement for a safety pin that I'm sure I had, but I don't. I don't know where it is. Maybe I'll be able to use this thing, but the problem is that the sleeves are curved, so I don't know if it will work. We shall see. If it doesn't, I'm just going to thread a little bit of thread through the elastic and do it like that. You know what? Thinking about it, that might actually be an easier way, because I already have a little bit of thread right here. I was using it to close the little gap that I had between the stitching that I did under the sleeve and the top of the zipper. There was like a there was a gap here, and I just hand stitched it shut. So I have a little bit of thread. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to hold on to part of it. I don't know if this will work. I'm just making it up as I go, really. There. And I think I'll thread this through some thicker needle, something that won't poke a hole in my fabric, hopefully. Come on, come on. Do, 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 do. So this is my contraption. Needle, thread, elastic, sleeve. Let's see if my thinking was even halfway correct. I should be using a knitting needle, but I have them in the living room and I don't feel like getting up. This needle is a bit too sharp for this. I can do it other way around, maybe. Okay, the butt of the needle going in. Okay, the elastic is almost there. I bet you I'll snap this thread if I pull too hard. It's working. It really is working. Oh my god. Okay, that was easier than a safety pin because this is much bigger. This could honestly be used to hunt vampires. This is a huge needle. Look at that.
Look at this little squirrel. Squirrel. Oh, look at him being so happy.
I have been trying to understand which sleeve is which, and it's so nice to see a familiar sign in a dress that's 75 years old. Look at that. 2 notches, 1 and 2. 1 notch right here. So this is the front, this is the back. I don't know why is it blowing my mind. I think it's just, it feels like walking in someone else's footsteps. Look, this is the dress. Here are the 2 notches. Here is 1 notch. So I know where this is going to go. I just wonder who made this dress. I have to write to Deborah. I don't know if she will be able to reply to me in time before publishing this video, but I'll ask her if she knows who made this. And now I'm trying to put the sleeves into the bodice, and interestingly the notches do not align. So either the pattern that the person used was weird, or the person who made it took sleeves out of a different pattern. And I don't know, it just tickles something inside of me. To think of the creative process of someone who made a dress so many years ago, and I am now just like a little detective with a magnifying glass. Now, all I had to do to finish the white dress was first adjust the length of the elastic in the sleeve, because I did cut too much of it, and then try the dress on, see if it fits well with sleeves as they are. And since I was pretty happy with how things turned out, I just attached the sleeves to the bodice of the dress, and the dress was done. The skirt has been pickling all day. The rust is still here. I don't know if I even want to try the baking soda solution. I can try it for 2 hours, and then I absolutely have to wash this and let this dry so I can apply it onto the dress tomorrow. Can you see the giraffe? Yep, I have a rusty giraffe on the skirt. You're my last chance. I'm trying to remove the rust stains, but they're not budging. I have turned around the bodice, but this is a very deep tear. We shall see if I can make it happen as I thought.
Oh, you look just like the floor.
While the skirt of the pink dress is being washed and dried, I have a whole evening to tackle the bodice of the dress. The bodice is significantly more complicated than the bodice on the other dress. I am still fighting my fear of modifying garments that are already made versus making new garments, but I really want to make this happen. So I'm trying to find the bravery in me to start cutting and sewing into the bodice of the beautiful pink dress. And I started by trying to minimize the tear on the very front of the neckline. So what I do is just lower the seam in order to tug that tear onto the inside of the bodice. And that's how the bodice looks like on the right side after the first attempt. This is the back dart, and here is a quite significant tear in the fabric. I'll do what the original seamstress tried to do and add a dart right here. Once I was done hiding that little tear at the top of my skirt, I started sizing down the bodice. First by taking in the darts at the back of the bodice and taking in the sides of the bodice. In hindsight, I realized that I probably should have taken the time to disassemble the bodice completely and modify each part of the bodice, like the bust part and the under bust part, to fit me separately and then put it back together. But yeah, hindsight is a good thing to have, but it usually comes with experience. So while I was making the dress, I was very impatient to have it done and to have the joy of wearing it. And I must say, impatience is one of my big vices, and I only found that out once I started sewing. How do you personally balance the impatience for gratification of a finished project and the need to do them well?
Just like mommy, Winnie is a hoarder. Look, he got a blankie, a pillow cover, his bone, and a snack. And that's how he's chilling on his bed.
Okay, I'm officially tired of my kitchen smelling like vinegar. And let's see. The rust is still here, slightly diminished, but still visible, so I'll put it into the washing machine just to get rid of the vinegar smell and, well, I guess embroidering it is.
Look at this little prince. Oh, such a pretty paw. Oh, pretty paw. Winnie, why are you so cute? Mommy cannot do any work because you're way too cute. Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, this bodice has defeated me yesterday. I went and had a little temper tantrum and fell asleep without finishing the bodice. Also, the rust stains, they are still there. I did wash the skirt before going to bed and I hanged it out to dry. It's almost dry now. There's nothing for it. It's time to try and have another go at the bodice. The thing is, it's really hard to see what I'm doing because there's so much extra fullness here in the bust because they were gathers. So I think I'll put on some pleats and take in the bodice again, and then I'll try it on for one last time. Because it's a bit of a challenge. The construction is way more complicated compared to the bodice that we did yesterday. But I don't want to completely dismantle the whole bodice. I wanted to keep the dress as original as possible. I really just want to make it fit me without too much, reconstruction and rearrangement. Yeah, we shall see if I manage to achieve what I set out to achieve.
And also Winnie is being a baby. Yes, I'm talking to you, little chicken.
I think since Winnie is being a baby and I am not in the mood for trying this bodice on 5 more times, I think I'll go make myself a nice cup of coffee, gather my strength and try to attack it again. But yeah, it's a rainy day and it's a bit hard to sort of feel energetic and feel like a go-getter.
Wait, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, don't complain. Mommy just has to switch off the camera, I'm sorry, baby. That's cute baby Winnie.
I'm going to take the bodice in a little bit more before I proceed. I did manage to take the hole that was here and put it on the other side of the bodice. I'm not cutting off any of the excess fabric in case, I don't know what size I'm going to be in, let's say 5 years, or maybe I'll give it to someone in a couple of years and they will want to resize it too. Okay, baby. Oh, I don't know if I can sew with one hand. That's okay, baby. Mama can try to sew with one hand. Exactly. Actually, I don't know if I can, Winnie. I can try. As you know from the first video, the white dress that I already finished was the dress that Deborah's mom was wearing when her dad proposed to her mom. And I later found out from Deborah that her mom was indeed a very good seamstress. We are probably like 99% sure that the dresses were made by hand by her mom, which made me feel really honored that Deborah decided to share them with me. I think this is the best I can do for now without having a zipper on and sleeves on. I'll put the pleats in and try to attach the sleeves. I'm scared of cutting this part off in case I end up feeling like I need it, but I'll attach the sleeves and then I'll go for attaching the skirt.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm running up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand. There's no way to speak or reach out my hand. Watching the paper slowly unfold. Bracing for news that I can't bear to hold. While I'm singing this song to myself. I sing this softly to myself. Tore up my jeans on the fence.
at last happy, more or less, with the bodice. I just have to unpick the sleeve right here and sort of put the excess fabric here into that seam and sew the sleeve back on. Maybe understitch the sweetheart necklace a little bit. I keep saying necklace. Understitch the sweetheart neck line a little bit more, and then I have to proceed to make the skirt. But I do have to figure out what to do with the hole at the back. You can see it's been sewn shut. I might have to unpick the stitches, see the damage, maybe put some interfacing in here, I'm not sure, or maybe just leave it. I mean, it's a vintage dress. I shall get going.
Home stretch at last. I have unpicked the old stitches around the hole, the tear in the back, and it was a good solution, don't get me wrong, but for the safety of the fabric, I think I'm just going to tuck that hole into the seam. I'll unpick the back center seam completely and just move it to a side slightly. Is that a good idea? I don't know, but I feel like it's the easiest way to get rid of the gaping hole in the back. Once I move the center back seam to hide the hole, I'm going to do a running stitch around the waistline seam, gather the skirt and attach it to the bodice, and I should be done. Pray for me that I don't make even bigger hole while unpicking the stitches. Patience is the name of the game here. I love this sound. This is how much fabric I'll be losing from the skirt. Just going to secure this here. Double check that it will make a straight seam. Winnie's watching the door because his daddy's coming home soon. Are you waiting for daddy? Yep. Before I do the gathering stitches, I see I have to reinforce the side seams and front center seam by doing a couple of stitches here and there. Here you can see the thread that the person who fixed it before me used. They used like a pink embroidery thread. It did its job, but it's time to remove it. Which is funny because that's how I used to fix my clothes as well. Before I had a sewing machine. I find it really cute to see what the person who owned the dress before did with it, how they fixed it, how it was made. Just quickly putting in 1 or 2 gathering stitches into the top of the skirt. As I was working on these projects and exchanging emails with Deborah, it became obvious to both of us that the whole project is riddled with a lot of coincidences. For example, just a few days after I published this video will be the anniversary of Deborah's mom's passing. And then just a couple of days later will be Deborah's 66th birthday. Happy birthday to Deborah. Please, if you've watched this far, please wish Deborah happy birthday in the comments. What I found interesting also, I saw on the portrait of Deborah's parents that her dad was a soldier in the World War II, and his birthday is the exact same day as my country's Independence Day or regaining of Independence Day. And just a couple of days after that day is the anniversary of her parents' marriage. And I thought it was beautiful that I got the chance to repair these dresses just a couple of days before all these anniversaries.
Oh, baby, thank you so much. Oh, sure.
This is the second dress. What do you guys think? I am in love with this. I should take in maybe like 4 more centimeters in at the waist. There's a lot extra fabric at the back. But I was honestly scared of doing that because I don't want to tear the fabric any further while putting the dress on over the head. It is slightly... It's sensitive. I am honestly sitting here trying to decide which dress is my favorite, and they are so different that I honestly cannot. Do let me know in the comments which suits me best, which is your personal favorite. I love them both. I want to say a really heartfelt thank you to Deborah for trusting me with her family's history in form of these 2 dresses. I enjoyed working with them. Seeing how they were made by someone so many years before me was an honest, almost religious experience for a seamstress like me. I enjoyed every step of making these dresses fit me, making them wearable again, and giving them a new life. And I know for a fact that I am going to live in them next summer if weather allows, because I love both of them. They are so different from each other, and yet both of them are cute and beautiful in their own rights. I love the neckline of this one. Like, no wonder Deborah got her first kiss. It's honestly a very romantic, girly, soft, beautiful dress, and I am in love with this. I did try all the, available to me method of rust removal that you guys recommended me, and they did remove a little bit of the rust stain. They did make it like maybe less prominent, but it's still there. So we have to figure out a different way of dealing with it. Once again, big thank you to Deborah for sending me the dresses. It was extremely kind, unexpected, and it felt like a true gift and a blessing from a stranger. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for trusting me with your mom's dresses and your mom dress. I will cherish them forever, for as long as I can wear them. And also part of the reason why I left so much of the fabric on the side seam, I didn't cut off any of the fabric except for the fabric with the hole on the skirt. So, when my body does change and I need a little bit more space in those dresses, it's there, I'll just have to unpick a seam and let it out a little bit. I've seen that done in couple vintage dresses, and I think we should all embrace larger seams because they do make the dress more wearable for ages and ages to come. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what should I do with the skirt and the rust stains. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I love you. Bye-bye. I feel like some kind of southern belle. Southern is such a difficult word to say. I feel like, some kind of a lady from... I feel like, who? What was her name? The lady from the Golden Girls. Her name was Deborah. I don't remember her first name.